What up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today I am talking about something that I believe is hurting Marathon in the long run, and I don't really know how they fix it. I have a couple ideas, but we will get into it. So with that said, I am doing this live on my stream right here where I do stream right here on this very YouTube channel and on my Twitch. The link is down in the description. So with that out of the way, let's get into it. I talked about this the other day, and I noticed it a lot more when I started playing Active Matter. But Marathon now that we're like deep into the season, into the latter half of the season, doesn't play like an extraction shooter. It plays more like a Battle Royale / arena shooter where you bring in a kit and spawn in a certain place and don't drop in. Sure, yeah, at the end of the day, excuse me, it's an extraction shooter because you still have to extract out, but it doesn't play like a normal extraction shooter, even with a squad. You take a look at Tarkov, Active Matter, what other extraction shooter, even like the Cycle Frontier from way back in the day. This game plays more akin to Apex Legends than it does an actual extraction shooter, and that might be hurting the game in the long run. And the reason for that is because when people think an extraction shooter, they're looking for a high stakes, high adrenaline rush, I guess, type of experience. And when you have a geared team that can just kind of like run down everybody, because the best loot, to be honest, that you find in raids is off of people. I don't even find super good loot on like in the raid itself. I find maybe a gold salvage item every once in a while. Obviously, if I have a key, like the key room loot is good depending on the key, you know, sometimes great. But again, most of the good loot that I'm looking for is on the people that I'm trying to kill in the raid and then extract. So that causes me to go and run down the other teams, even though I might have less gear than them or worse gear than them. And if I play Outpost and I have a free kit, I'm for sure running it down. What have I got to lose? I got everything to gain and nothing to lose. So with that said, even on Outpost, I think maybe a way to fix this is by buffing the loot on every map. I'm not too sure. I don't know what the metrics on that would be, but it's not super interesting to loot around when you're in the end game. It's just not. There's a very low chance of finding stuff that you need. The amount of stuff that you need is just absolutely absurd. But I think if they buff the loot overall in Marathon, I think it would help a lot. But to what extent, I don't know. Because at the end of the day, I mean, everything that I want, people have. If I want to find a Mizraya, me finding a Mizraya is extremely rare. But me finding it on a person, there's a very high likelihood, especially at the level that I'm at in the lobbies that I get into because of the level-based matchmaking, which I'm level 200. So I get people ranging from level 100 and to up. Sometimes I get like level 80, but other than that, I think they need to buff the loot overall. Maybe expand maps, make bigger maps, because the maps are quite small. I mean, I can run into a team right off rip on Dire Marsh or even on Outpost, which is going to make me engage in PvP more rather than looting a POI. And that's kind of like what you do in a BR, right? You kind of, in a BR, like I'm thinking, like, let's just take Apex Legends, right? You fly in. If you land in a POI with no one else, then obviously loot up, and then you go push a team. You know what I mean? It's kind of the same in Marathon. You spawn in. If you get a good spawn where there's no other team, you might take a look around there, or you run into another POI listening for shots and heading towards the shots. Same in Apex Legends. You spawn in, you fly in, maybe you land with a team, maybe you don't, you gear up, then you fight, and then you're listening for more shots to go fight. It's the same thing. Whereas if you go play Active Matter or Tarkov or whatever else, right? Something that is a traditional, I guess, extraction shooter, you spawn in and you're instantly going to look for stuff that you need, or you're going to do your quest. And the same could be true for Marathon in terms of the quest, but the point remains, I'm going to look for stuff that I need. I'm not looking for PvP like out of the gate, you know what I mean? I am looking to get stuff that I need in that extraction shooter. And I think that's the big difference. And I think it could really be hurting Marathon in the long run, the longer that it plays out like a Battle Royale. Because people aren't here to play a Battle Royale against higher geared people, because that's like landing on a team and then the entire team gets all purples, purple weapon, whatever, right? And meanwhile, you're stuck with blue, gold, or not gold, green stuff all the time. It doesn't lead to an enjoyable experience. So I don't know how they fix it. Obviously, if they make bigger maps, that's great. But for the current maps, they would have to redo the maps and make them bigger, and maybe even adjust spawn points or whatever else. I think increasing the loot pool overall would be better, because it would make looting more interesting instead of running down a team. Like if I spawn, like for example, on Outpost, if I spawn at flight control or literally anywhere, right? Let's just use flight control as an example. I know there's probably a team that's spawning out at airfield. I'm contesting that team off rip. Okay? I'm not looking for loot. I'm looking to fight that team off rip, grab the red key, and rotate to the next team, because I want to clear the map so I can get into the center. The center has the most interesting loot, and even then, it can be pretty lackluster at times. I'm just saying. But it plays too much like a Battle Royale, and it needs to play more like an extraction shooter. At Wipe, I think Wipe is going to be super fun, right? Because at Wipe, it's going to play more like an extraction shooter for sure, because you don't have as much gear, so you don't want to lose the stuff that you have, you know, and things like that. But they got to figure something out. That's all I can say. I think Wipe will be fun. I know we're getting a new shell, but how many of those 80,000 people that have played the game at least once are going to come back? I'm expecting maybe like 10 to 20K come back, but I don't think they're going to be interested long-term into the season, because once you reach a certain point, it's going to start playing like a Battle Royale again. And the people that can't play as often or like to mix up games are going to fall behind. And then when you've already fallen behind, it's like, well, I don't really want to, I don't really feel like playing catch up. So a lot of people are going to end up waiting for Wipe again. And then they're just going to be stuck in this like the perpetual cycle of waiting for Wipe time and time again. You know what I mean? Eventually, people are just going to be like, okay, I'm kind of done with doing this over and over and over again. There's literally no point in me doing this over and over and over again when I'm making no progress. Because if you're not making progress, what is the point? That's not fun for anybody. Because like the game that I'm about to play right now, it plays like a normal extraction shooter, right? And I think that part of that is because the maps are so big. And it definitely encourages you to play slower as well. Like Marathon doesn't really encourage you to play super slow either. It doesn't promote that. It promotes you to go after other teams and get after it and stuff like that. So I don't know what they do here. Again, I'm not the billion-dollar company, so that is for them to figure out, you know? But that's all I have to say about it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, like the video. If you didn't, dislike the video. If you agree with me, let me know down in the comments, and subscribe. God bless and peace. Okay.